Looks like we're up.
We're up.
All right, so let's call to order the public February 26th, 2021 OpenJS Foundation Board meeting. Welcome, everyone.
Okay. Thank you, Todd. Welcome, everybody. Up on the screen, we have our board directory, and I'm going to skip forward just a slide here. Robin, would you like to do the honors?
I would love to do the honors, and on behalf of the Cross Project Council and our board, to welcome Sarah Chips as our CPC rep to the board. Welcome, Sarah. Would love for you to introduce yourself to folks who are watching.
Thank you. Thanks, Robin, and thanks everyone else, including CPC members. So my name is Sarah Chips. I'm the Director of Community at Stack Overflow. I'm a big fan and part of the JavaScript ecosystem for a long time, and been building software for 20 years now.
Great, thanks, Sarah. So she, along with Michael Dawson, our other CPC rep, represent all of our 37 projects into the foundation. It's their voice. Cool.
All right. And along with that, Robin?
Yes, and I'm also delighted to thank Chris Borchers, who is cycling off from our CPC rep. Chris, as you may know, was the executive director of the JS Foundation, and he then became one of our board members representing the CPC. He's now at Microsoft, and I've learned a ton from him as I came into my new role. And like I said, I like to give him 5 stars because I'm all about online right now. So, hey, Chris, you're still with us? Yeah, on the call. Thank you so much for everything that you've done. And I know you're not going far.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's been awesome. And yeah, I'll still be around in the community. And I'm also just super happy to see Sarah take this role because, yeah, I was watching the election and honestly hoping it would be Sarah. So welcome.
Thank you, Chris. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks for all you've done for us, Chris. Really
Yeah,
do.
definitely.
Appreciate all the effort that you've put in over the years here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Well, so for our agenda today, we actually decided to move the approval of minutes to email. So we're going to skip through that. Robin will give a certification update. We have Michael and Sarah here to give a CPC update, and then we have Rachel Romoff to give a marketing update. Does anybody have anything they'd like to add to the agenda? Not hearing anything, I will move us forward. So let's begin with the certification update. Robin, would you like to take us through this?
Yeah, sure. Certification program is going well, particularly since we added a training program last summer. And we were super excited just this last week to launch a new free training. So we've had a lot of interest in that. You can do the training as a standalone, but if you really want to get certified, I think having that training really does help. And I think we're seeing across the industry that having that certification really sort of helps you sort of stand out perhaps in the marketplace. And it really helps kind of, you know, as an employer to identify some great candidates. I know Node.js is pretty hot right now, so it's been for a while. So we're really happy to see that free training. Also, just to call out that we do have discounts for members as well as our JavaScriptLandia supporters as well. And it's been fun to see some of those JSNAD folks come through and get their discounts, their discount codes. Okay.
Okay, brings us to the CPC update. Michael and Sarah.
Thanks. So in terms of project-related updates, we don't have any new projects, applications or anything, or projects entering to report at this time. We do have something to announce, though, on the collaboration network front. We have our first collaboration space who had applied and has been approved. So we have a new collaboration space ramping up related to package vulnerability management and reporting. The focus being on figuring out how we can make it easier for maintainers to sort of manage vulnerabilities which maybe are reported against one of their dependencies, but they're not actually using the API surface so that, you know, it doesn't actually affect them, but today they still get flagged as having a vulnerability, and thinking about ideas of how we can better manage and let maintainers manage that kind of thing. So I'm excited to see that starting to ramp up. We've created the repository, which you can go take a look at, and we'll have some, you know, some information going out in terms of, you know, how to get involved and when things are going to get started soon. Next page. It's already mentioned, but welcome, Sarah, to being one of the CPC directors. I'm looking forward to working together in terms of bringing these updates and representing the projects and all that. I don't know, Sarah, if you have anything else you want to add?
No, happy to be here. Thank you.
Thanks. There's ongoing, so some of the things the CPC is currently working on. There's ongoing discussion around improving diversity. We've mentioned before that the CPC is moving from a every week meeting to every other week, and the alternate weeks are being used as a working session. The last 3 sessions have been focused on this. So if you're interested in helping out, that's something you can come and join and work with the team on. And thanks to Toby and Sarah to helping to move this forward. Also mentioned in earlier meetings, the discussions around defining an annual review process close, and kind of the part that's we've completed since the last time is we've removed the ghost stage and sort of moved that to an attribute of a project versus a stage for the project. There's also been some discussion about projects as they move to the emeritus status. We've added an informal checklist of the things we should think about as projects move to emeritus, and we're tweaking the governance to require consensus when that happens from the CPC versus a 2/3 vote. Just, you know, it's consistent with the way we make a number of our other decisions, and so as we were looking through the case where one of the projects was going to emeritus, it kind of came up, and we thought we should move it to be more in line with how we work and make decisions and agree in other places. There is also ongoing work to rename the primary branch to main in the OpenJS Foundation organization. We've actually done the rename across all of the projects, and we're working to update the links. And, you know, thanks to Sendil, who submitted a number of PRs for doing those updates. And the individual supporter program, I think it may have been mentioned before, but we're up to 245 supporters. So it's great that, you know, we continue to have support to see that grow, and, you know, and we're really excited about that program as well. And next page. And just in terms of actual charter changes, which we report, you know, in line with that work to rename the primary branch to main, there's been a few PRs, and one of them has been to the governance document to change those links. And we've also done that in a few other links. I think that's the update we have from the CPC. I don't know if anybody has any questions or comments before we move on.
Okay.
I think
Let's move on to the next topic. All right, next up, individual support program.
Yeah, I think Michael covered a little bit to date. We have launched the program, and then our CPC committee has been working on how can we expand it even further. So we're looking at the best way to digitally create some passports, and then we'll soon be adding project badges for your favorite projects, and probably some other milestones as well. So be on the lookout for that, and join if you haven't become a member of JSNAD yet.
That brings us to the marketing update. Rachel, would you like to take us through this?
Yes, absolutely. Our blog is chugging right along. February is about average of where we can expect to be in the month. Definitely filling up the pipeline with some good content for the community. Next slide, if there are no questions. Website metrics are down slightly this month. I do want to point out that we have seen an influx of some bot traffic. I have been kind of in touch with the Linux Foundation, the folks that handle websites over there, and this is actually not special to us. So it seems like this is kind of happening across the board. We have nothing to worry about, but we're going to continue to monitor this just to see, what's going on and if there's anything we need to do. Any questions? If none, we can keep moving. Social media. So these are our Twitter metrics. We saw a nice spike for our Ask Me Anything with the program committee for our OpenCFP AMA. Also just wanted to point out that we are down slightly in published engagement for Twitter. However, last month, I think we were up over 400%. So it's still doing really, really well on the engagement front for our Twitter handle. Any questions pertaining to Twitter? If none, we can move on to LinkedIn. So again, we're continuing to gain traction with our followers, lots of great engagement. That particular spike that you're seeing is actually some Node.js certification content that we've posted. Wanted to point out that I think this is the first time that we've dipped below 100 on our sentiment. And I think that was a fluke in the algorithm, because in checking, there's really nothing out of the ordinary in the things that we've posted. So next month, we should see that go back to our typical 100 positive sentiment on LinkedIn. Any questions for LinkedIn? If none, we can move over to YouTube. Again, continuing to perform really well on YouTube with the awesome content that we've created previously. I did want to point out that one of our projects, WebDriver, put out a really great video for their V7 release, which was great supplemental content for their overall release. Performing really well. And so that's another thing that we're going to continue to work with projects on regarding different types of content that they can kind of do on the fly, and a little bit easier types of content, kind of talking about the things that they know. So really cool to see that in the top 5. Any questions?
I would just comment on VS Code had a conference this last month, and so Sana's breakout session from OpenJS World came to the top for our channel, which was kind of cool to see during their conference.
And I think that brings us to an end of our marketing update.
Okay, thank you, Rachel. Does anybody have any questions for Rachel or for any of the other speakers? All right, not hearing any and realizing we're pretty substantially over time. Is there anything else that anybody would like to cover?
No, just I'm excited for 2021 and really excited by this great group we have on the staff and on our board. So, and CPC, lots of good things going.
And again, thanks to the staff for putting together the materials again for a very good and productive board meeting. And we'll vote the minutes through email and continue on. And let's have a great 2021 as we get going. All right, so let's call the Foundation board meeting to a close. Thank you, Brian.
Okay, thank you, everybody.